Hey everybody. So I told you guys if you met your savings goal at the end of this challenge that I had a surprise for you guys. I wanted to live up to that. I want to introduce you guys to my stock investing expert. This is Jay Hopson. He is going to talk to you about investing in stocks. So I want to tell you really quickly, when I started investing in stocks, I think I had like $15 and I started in it, and I've amassed, just without thinking about it, a few $1,000s. And it automatically comes out of my account. I don't think about it. I don't ever mess with that money. It just stays in there. So he is going to explain to you how you can get your stock investing account started with very little money.
All right.
Jay?
Well, thanks for having me, Camille. And one of the things I want to say before I jump into it is that Camille actually helped me with some budgeting. A couple years ago, I needed to rearrange some spending habits. And if you don't know this, Camille's great with managing her money. The thing that I did have some expertise in was investing in stocks. So once I got my spending under control, the thing that I decided to do, well, I need to go back into the stock market. It was something that I sort of abandoned and I had a love for it. So wanted to find a good place to start out. Well, things have changed with the stock market. Historically, you had to come with a certain amount of money, and that amount of money usually was a few $1,000s to get started, to get a stock brokerage to even take you seriously. Well, nowadays with technology and apps, there's an app for everything, you can get started with as little as $1. And literally there's no trick to it. You can start with $1. I'm going to tell you how. Now, you've probably heard of some of these applications that you can download on your mobile devices or your computer. There's Acorns, there's Robinhood, and the one that Camille and I use is Stash. They all pretty much do the same thing. They allow you to invest small amounts of money, as little as $1, and this is the catcher. They allow you to invest in stocks and mutual funds at $1 increments. Now that's huge because in the past, you take a company like Zoom, for example. Everybody's accustomed to hearing the word Zoom right now. Zoom now trades at over $400 per share. So traditionally, if you wanted to invest in that stock, a stock brokerage may have required you to buy 100 shares of that stock. So now we're talking about $400 times 100 to get started with that stock. That can discourage the best of us.
Wow.
Well, now
I wasn't getting involved at that rate.
and I didn't have that kind of money laying around.
Right.
But now you can take that $1 and invest in Apple stock, Nike, McDonald's, any name of a company that you can think of, Walmart, Target, Amazon. These are all household names that in the past you may not have had an opportunity to invest in.
Sure.
So I want to talk to you about Stash because that's the platform that I use, Camille uses, and as she mentioned, she started out with just a little bit of money. I did the same thing. I just put a few $100s in, and I had that to spare. And then I decided, and this was the most important part, was to save automatically. The app will communicate with your bank account if you would like it to, and take out $1, $5, $25. You set the increment to be transferred into your investment account weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, however you want to set it up. You're in control. That's awesome. It's automatic. If you set it up at the same time you receive your paychecks, eventually you don't miss that. Another great thing that Stash allows you to do is called the roundup. You spend $90 on some snacks. Well, the 10 cents that it takes to get to the next round dollar, hence roundup, is automatically taken and invested into your investment account. Now that may not sound like a lot, but what I found that over time, that number begins to exceed the weekly amount that I was investing. So I found myself with a lot more money in the account, and you take that money, and this is the important part too, and invest it in stocks or either mutual funds, and just kind of let it do its magic. And before you know it, you'll see some incremental and nice gains to your account. So you say, okay, I can commit to that. I can commit to $1 or $5 a week, whatever you are, that's where you start. And you can commit to maybe rounding up. But you don't have to do both. You can do either or. And if you're just one of those people that, and trust me, I've been there, you're getting started, you're paying off debt, you're not sure that you want to commit to automatically investing, you can invest when you can. I've got $50 this month. I'm going to put that in there. Next month, I don't have that. That's okay too. Just don't abandon the plan. The plan is to invest on a regular basis. Well, you get those steps taken care of, you may be thinking, I've never invested. I don't have this experience. How am I going to learn what to do and how to do it? Well, some of the best advice that's been given is you invest in what you know. Most of us, Camille and I was just chatting about eating out and the shopping that's been done since the COVID-19 virus. And you can just about think of some of the very hot stocks. I mean, if you haven't ordered from Amazon, you certainly have family members or friends or neighbors that keep them pretty busy. You see the trucks all over the place. You see the packages. They're having one of the greatest seasons ever. It doesn't take a rocket science to see that. Walmart is another company that's done extremely well. Zoom, I just mentioned that. And these are not recommendations. These are just suggestions for you to start thinking about what works for you. You can also invest with your passion. Some people are extremely passionate about keeping the world green or investing in green. Well, there's a mutual fund committed to just companies that are committed to the green lifestyle. Whatever, pharmaceutical, marijuana-based stocks, that's a really popular one. So once you open up your stash account, and it doesn't cost any money, obviously, to download the app, you can go in and begin to educate yourself. Another part of this is they have quizzes. And these quizzes allow you to determine what type of investor you are. Camille and I have chatted about this. She tends to be a mildly conservative investor, and I'm a go aggressive investor. So our stock portfolio or our investment portfolio may look differently. We may decide to pick some of the same stocks, and we may do some things a little different. With the help of this quiz, you determine what your personality is, and you invest for yourself. So if all of that doesn't make sense, guess what? There's a solution for you there too, and that's called mutual funds. Mutual funds are simply a collection of stocks and other investment instruments that are selected by professionals. So once you figure out with that simple quiz who you are and what your portfolio mix should be, then you can go and select a mutual fund that mirrors your investment personality. And that's a huge part of Stash, and one of the reasons I'm an advocate for them. They do provide you with a lot of education.
Sure.
And before you know it, it becomes a snowball effect. You start out with $1, $5, and you turn around, you've got $50 in there. And they encourage you too. With things like that, your next goal is $100, your next goal is $150. And you get excited.
Sure. And
you go in and you see the growth of your stocks. It's a really good time to get involved with all the change that's going on in the world right now. Some stocks, some companies have knocked down. And the thing we know about the market is that it typically rebounds. So don't look at it like a shaky, scary time to put your toe into it. It's actually a great time because everything's on sale.
Yeah, it sure is.
The airlines are, once people couldn't fly, they just fell. I mean, some of these stocks typically trade 3 times, 4 times what they're currently trading. So now's the time. Take advantage of it. Get started. And $1 gets you started.
So I just want to put this out there. Guys, I know that it's scary to think about me. I'm going to invest in stocks. That's exactly how I felt. A few years ago, whenever I had Canon and my finances were just absolutely horrible, I was about to lose everything. And I made a decision that I was going to turn my credit around. I was going to get all of my bad debt paid off. I was going to do something to invest some money, something that would be making money while I wasn't even thinking about it. And was I scared? Guys, I was scared as hell. But with Stash, you literally have no excuses. I mean, you can come off of $1. And that's what I want you guys to do with the money that you have saved throughout this challenge. It is not time to go shopping because you saved the money that you committed to. I am challenging you now to invest that money. You've already saved it. Don't go blow it. Just go ahead and invest your money and then set it at something that you feel comfortable with. Even if you're just going to put $1 a week in, continue to do something, discipline yourself, and stick with this. So I know that, Jay talked about some big terminology and there was some things that words like that. I was like, me, this poor little Camille, that's a stocks is like something I could never do. And it's something that I do regularly now. It comes out of my account every single week. And I literally hop on just maybe once a week and just look how my money's grown. And it's kind of nice, but I don't ever fool with that money. I've got some savings over here. If I just got to have it, I'll use that. I'll leave my stash account alone. And just having that little bit of discipline, if I ever really had to have it, I could sell out my stocks or whatever, and I would have the money if I needed it. But I don't want to touch that money. I want it to grow. I want to have that money to pass along to, my kids or whatever. So I just leave it alone. So I got a little carried away there for just a minute. But if you hop on Stash and you have questions, I could probably coerce this guy to just give you a few pointers or whatever. So guys, don't forget that. I promised you this surprise. This is something that I want for you and for your family. I really want this for you guys. So I want you guys to rise up. I want you to take the step, and I want you to invest in your very first Stash account and get your own investing started. Hey, I love you guys. This is Jay Hopson. You know who I am. If you have questions, you know where to find me. Thank you.